What is the greatest comeback to an insult you've ever heard? My best friend. After an argument with some kid from our school in a shop, we began walking away down the street. Kid, where you going, pussy? Friend, your mom's house. Kid, my mom lives the other way, idiot. Friend, no, I meant your real mom. English class in middle school. Kid A, yo, Kid B, your mama waited on me at McDonald's last night. Must feel like shit having a mom that works at McDonald's. Kid B, at least my mom gets out of bed to go to work. English teacher far louder than he realized. Damn. The rest of us were laughing so hard, the teacher next door popped her head in to see what was going on. A dude in my class called out a semi-friend of mine that people are talking behind his back. In fact, that wasn't the case, as far as I know, and that guy said, well, you know what to say about you? Nothing. Nobody fucking cares. A friend in high school on our way to a track meet. He was staring at a car in the parking that was really nice. When this bag saw him. Bag, why bothering looking at that when you know you'll never be able to get one? My friend, the same reason you watch PRN. The entire bus erupted, and it's still one of the funniest things I've ever heard. So there was two girls fighting, and one of them looks at my sister who was minding her own business and says, you go to hell too. My sister, do you want me to say anything to your mom? Context, John Oliver from HBO interviews Stephen Hawking, may he rest in peace. Joe, and there may be a universe where I'm more intelligent than you? Shh, there may even be a universe where you are funny. Overheard by me, the school bus driver. One 5th grade student was belittling a 1st grader. When it was time for a comeback, 1st grader shouts out, congratulations. The bewildered 5th grader had nothing to say and went to sit down with her friends in the back of the bus. Joe Pine interviewing Frank Zappa. Joe, I guess your long hair makes you a woman. FZ, I guess your wooden leg makes you a table. Many years ago, when we were about 18, a friend of mine was arguing with another person we knew. This person was trying to be a badass and intimidate my buddy. He says my feet are registered. Without missing a beat, my friend replies, where? Health and sanitation? 40 years later I still crack up at this when it comes to mind. My mother, why she always wears makeup despite being in her 40s. She told me she wears makeup so she doesn't look like me. Edit, I was 9. Definitely a great comeback, but not to an insult, more to an annoyance. I was a camp counselor for a few years at a summer camp. One day my group took a hike to a large rock where we had lunch. My campers were between 8 and 10 years old. This one kid we'll call Jeff keeps poking another kid we'll call Matt in my group to look at this hole in the rock. It's so cool. It's like 6 inches deep and the other kid is clearly getting annoyed just trying to eat his lunch. He keeps shoving sticks into the hole and trying to get everybody to look at it. Finally Matt just puts down his sandwich, looks at Jeff, and goes, I'll be 6 inches deep in your mom later if you don't shut up. I was trying so hard to be stern with this kid for saying something so inappropriate, but I kept cracking up. It was just such a disproportionately ridiculous thing to say coming from a 9-year-old. I used to work with this like 70-year-old woman. She was a supervisor, and one day one of the ladies who worked with us told this old lady to kiss my ass, and the old lady replied, where do I start? You're so fat your crack goes all the way up your back. A guy makes fun of his bald friend by rubbing his head and saying, wow, your head is as smooth as my wife's bottom. The friend also rubs his head and says, wow, you're right. 18th century British radical politician John Wilkes was told in Parliament by a political opponent, sir, I do not know whether you will die on the gallows or of the pox. Wilkes shot back with, that depends, my lord, on whether I embrace your lordship's principles or your mistress. Imagine hitting someone with such a fire burn that people are discussing it 250 years later.